So we'll start on the course syllabus with my contact information. You see my name and phone number. While we're on the subject of my name, please feel free to refer to me and call me by my first name. So if you email me, just use Justin. If you leave me a voicemail or a text, please just use my first name. I much prefer that as we go on this journey together and we all get to know each other a little bit. My Ivy Tech email address is listed here on the syllabus as well, but I would prefer that you use the Ivy Learn inbox tool. That'll put a subject line that refers to this course, and so that will surface to the top of my email inbox, and I'll be able to be a little bit more responsive to you a little bit more quickly that way as I scan for emails from all of you on my mobile device or in my email, as that can get a little bit crowded sometimes. I do have a Twitter account at JB Dammeier. Certainly feel free to check that out. I don't tweet an awful lot, terribly often, but if you'd like to go check that out and give that a follow, that'd be great. I do also have office hours. Certainly, as you can see, I'm working from home these days in the COVID times, and I am typically based out on the Indianapolis campus on the third floor of North Meridian Center, but I know all of you are spread out throughout the state as this is an online course. So if we do need some time to get together and clarify an assignment, or even just talk shop about technology, we'll use that Zoom room and that link there to be able to do that. And as we communicate, I'll certainly make sure that you've got that as well. My supervisor for this course is Alan Lewis. He is the faculty lead for the School of Information Technology as a part of Ivy Online. So if there are any concerns about this course that you have that I can't specifically direct, I'll try that again. So if there are any concerns that you have about this course that I can't specifically address or anything else, please feel free to reach out to Alan. He's always happy to help assist students with anything that's going on. And together, he and I are really here to make sure that you have a really good experience with this course, that you are successful in the course, and that you're able to complete the course with us, hopefully with no problems whatsoever. But if anything should come up, the two of us will always work together to make sure that we are serving your interests as best we possibly can. So please feel free to reach out to Alan if you have any questions or concerns that I cannot help you with. I'd also like to take a minute to point out some of the support that we have for you as an online student. So we have our Ivy Tech Technical Support Desk. 1-888 Ivy line is the phone number that you can call, and hit option 4. There's also a link here where you can submit a help ticket. As I mentioned before, I lead the team of education technology professionals across the state that are here to support you when it comes to educational technology. So we have a link here on the syllabus that you can click and find the education technology support team for your campus that you can work directly with if you need any help. So please feel free to use that as much as possible. And then below that, there is a contact for disabilities support services. Again, I feel very, very passionately that we want all of the information, all of the content of these courses to be absolutely as accessible as possible, so that no matter what, all of our students are able to participate, able to make sure that that content is working well for you. So I'm always willing to work with disability support and you to make sure that the content is working for you. So if you find something that is not working well for you, please let me know, and I will do everything in my power to be able to make changes to make that content work very well for you. One other area that is important to point out is if you click on the resources icon in the lower left of the global navigation menu, that's going to pop out a menu that's going to give you a lot of other options to be able to help you along in your journey in an online class. I would mention that the Student Resource Center is a really good place to get some additional information and help and guides if you need it. You can also search the Canvas guide. So as I mentioned earlier, Ivy Learn is powered by Canvas. And so if you're searching those guides and you're in that website, simply say, how do I, and then type whatever it is that you need help, and you're going to have a really good opportunity to find what you need and find some quick references there. And typically my team likes to link back to those anyway, so that's a really good spot to find out how to do something inside of Ivy Learn. And then there are, of course, additional links to the Ivy Tech Help Desk that I mentioned earlier, so just another way to find help there, and a lot of other resources that will be very useful for you as students as you move through the course. So what is it that we're going to talk about in this course? As I talked about earlier, in terms of my background being a kind of a generalist and a former technology director, and then a former member of an education technology team in a high school, we're going to talk about a lot of different things. We're going to talk about different types of software. A lot of the assignments in this course reference Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint. What I've tried to do is also acknowledge that many of us, myself included, really like to use the Google applications, and of course those have gone through a little bit of an evolution as well, from being called Google Apps, G Suite, and now Google Workspace. So I have links to help resources for any of those that you might be using as a word processor, a spreadsheet, or a presentation software. So we'll try to make sure that no matter what device you're using, no matter what type of software you prefer, you're going to be well supported in this class. And we're going to make sure that you can do all of the things in all of those areas that you need to do to be successful and be able to do your work without a whole lot of problems. As we talk through different pieces of software, we're going to talk about networking issues, storage, difference between storage on your device, storage in the cloud. We're going to talk about device hardware and how a computer works, how the internet works, a little bit about security, and then we'll talk about databases and programming and HTML, and a lot of really good information just to kind of get your feet wet and really start to understand what this world of informatics is all about, and try to expose you to as much of that as we possibly can, and help get you started on the right foot. Course policies and procedures, I'm going to let you read through quite a bit of this. I'm going to try to point out a couple of things that are, I think, really important for us. One, due dates and deadlines are really, really important. I do not accept late work. You can see in the makeup policy that if work is late, you will be assigned a grade of a 0. Now, I certainly understand that things come up. Life happens to us all. So as you're progressing through the course, no matter what's going on, if something is going on that's hindering your ability to complete your work, please reach out and let me know. I will do everything I can to be able to work with you to overcome whatever it is that may be going on, and we'll work together to try to work through that, because the last thing I really want you to have is a 0. So just communicate with me as quickly as possible if issues come up, and I will do my level best to be able to help you and support you in that, so that we don't have to worry about zeros, and we can work together to find a solution that works for you. Due dates for our classes are all on Mondays, with the exception of week number 8. That is a little bit of a shift for online classes this year. So a lot of times those due dates have been set to 11:59 p.m. on a Sunday. We've moved those to 11:59 p.m. on a Monday. That way we're not all kind of up against it on a Sunday night trying to make sure that everything is good. I would always ask that you don't wait to the deadline to try to get your work turned in, that if you're doing that a little bit ahead of that deadline, then that gives us a little bit of time there on Monday if we need it to be able to work through those issues to make sure that you can be successful with your work. Non-attendance drop, that is a very, very important date. We have to have an assignment of some variety, an academic event that is logged for you to show that you are participating in the class, so that you do not get dropped for non-attendance. Typically in an online class, that would be our first discussion that we're going to have. And as we go through our discussions, I try to make the first initial post that you have due by the Thursday of every week. So our first day is a Monday. The first discussion post that you would make would be on a Thursday, and that coincides with that drop deadline. So provided you meet that deadline, you're not going to have to worry about a non-attendance drop. Last day to withdraw from the class with 100% refund is also Thursday, October 29th for this course, for this term, and the last day to withdraw from this course with a W on your transcript is Saturday, December 5th. So please make sure that you take note of those dates and that you are aware of those. A couple of things about communication. I've talked a little bit about how I prefer that you communicate with me. We are required by policy that we respond to you within 36 hours of an email or communication that comes from you. I will do my level best to respond to you way sooner than that. I really try to be active in the course. I try to keep an eye on what's going on, and I really want to try to help you out as quickly as possible. So I will do everything I can to respond to you a little bit more quickly than that, but certainly some things happen. So we will abide by that policy, but it is important to me that we respond a little bit more quickly to that, and I will do my best to do that for you. All right, assignments and grading, I'm going to let you take a look at this on your own, and certainly let me know if you have any questions. I want to go ahead and scroll down to the course summary on the syllabus page, which I think is very, very helpful for you. This is going to give you a really good week-by-week view of what we're doing in this class. All assignments, as you can see, are due on Mondays, and there is one exception to that, and that is week number 8 of the course. And you're going to get an idea that as we go through our learning activities, we kind of get in a rhythm. There is a discussion that is due. The due date for the discussions is always on Monday, but there is an initial post for those that has to be done in the middle of the week, typically on a Thursday, so be on the lookout for that. You've got the other learning activities that we have for the class that then support your ability to be able to do any assignments that we have. And then typically we close out the module with a quiz. So you'll see that. So you would do the learning activities that are specified in the modules, do the discussion, do the assignment, do the quiz, and that kind of repeats as we go through the entire course. So I've made a little bit of a reference to modules, so let's go take a look at what the modules look like in our course and where you're going to go to get started. So if you click on modules, one thing I would point out is that one module that is very important is our resources modules. In this module, I've got some information on how to do some things that you may need to do as a part of different assignments. So how to take screenshots is a really good resource. Individual course resources will outline all of the different help and other things that I have outlined for you. So I would definitely come in and take a look at this. I've linked back to that page I just showed you on how to take screenshots. So really good college resources in that module and course resources in that module that you should take a look at and make sure that you are familiar with. But really, as you work through the course, you should work through the modules. And so every page that we have as a part of that module, every learning activity is there. And at the bottom of that, you're able to click next and go to the next page and move yourself through. So you'll see an introduction to the module, all of the learning activities that we have, and then the assignments and assessments that go with that course or that module. And then when you're all done with the module, then you'll have the next steps that will start to move you along to the next module for the next week's courses. So that is a really, really brief overview of our course. If you have any questions after watching this video, I hope you stuck with me the whole time, and I hope that it's been helpful for you to understand how it is that you're going to navigate the course and a little bit about what it is that I expect from you. I'm really looking forward to the opportunity to work with you in this course, and I will see you in our first discussion board and our opening announcements for the week.